work, and that's final. Alrighty, hello, and welcome to my Texans podcast. Yes, um, I don't imagine that I'm going to be doing many of these. I just want to share my thoughts on some latest Texans um, happenings, we'll call it. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Today is Thursday, August 8th. The Houston Texans have just lost to the Green Bay Packers in the first preseason game. Look, I'm not surprised. Come on, it's preseason. The Texans are an average preseason team. You know, preseason doesn't matter. So I mean, who cares? Uh, what did I see in this preseason game? I'll get to that in just a second. I'm also going to get to my thoughts on the Duke Johnson trade and, more importantly, the GM situation with Bill O'Brien and the committee. Um, so first things first, what I saw in the preseason game. Obviously, Kiki went down. That sucks. Um, they said it's not perceived to be a serious injury, so that's good. It was a tackle injury, so this is actually good because it was clear. I don't care who or what player you are. If your leg bends that way, you're gonna get injured. So it wasn't a non-contact injury. So I don't think this is an example of Kiki being injury prone. I just think this is a freak tackle. Um, so I think he's gonna be okay, and I think the Texans are gonna be fine regarding Kiki QT, our slot receiver. Um, Now I will say I don't know if I got to fully get the first half experience because I did start watching a little late. What I did see is that our offensive line is atrocious. Now I don't remember at what point I started watching. The only lineman that I got to really focus on, and um, this is who I wanted to focus on, was I guess Chantrell Henderson, that guy that we lost week one last year, and we have him at right tackle, I believe. Um, yeah, I think we had we. So I want to say we. I could be totally wrong, but I want to say we're having him at right tackle. We're having our rookie Titus Howard at left guard, I want to say, and Khalil at left tackle. So what I saw with Chantrell was that he was pretty he was pretty consistent. And again it was preseason. But if you're getting shredded in preseason, then you're toast. And he wasn't really getting shredded from what I saw. So that's good. I like that. I like to see that. But Joe Webb was running for his life. Like that's concerning. So again, I was only really focusing on Chantrell, but who knows what that offensive line is actually going to look like? I mean, like again, it is just preseason. But that's just it now. Breaking news: Nate Sudfeld broke his wrist. Eagles backup quarterback to have surgery Friday on his left wrist. Okay, that sucks. Anyway, that's the preseason. Um, what number was he? 13. Um, I don't remember his name, but he was showing up. Number 13, the wide receiver, and number 31 was showing up. Was there, I want to say 31 was the guy named um like I forgot his name too. Yeah, I'm pretty bad with names as you can tell, but anyway, enjoyable game. Some of those rookies that I only know by number are did pretty well, and honestly, it's just preseason. It's the Texans. Let's be honest. Rarely do we ever, you know, rarely does that ever translate. So, I mean, Deshaun Watson was horrible in preseason, and look, he's our guy now. So yeah, I'm not gonna get too excited over these guys. I think they could have potential, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. All right, so Bill O'Brien became the GM of the Houston Texans essentially, and they're saying it's a committee, but I don't buy it. Okay, I think that's a cover up. Here's what happened, and I truly believe this. Uh, Brian Gaine was fired because Bill O'Brien didn't agree with him on most issues. Okay, it happens. But I'm pretty sure that was the same reason that Rick Smith was fired. So come on. I mean, the reports were, oh, the Texans are going to be looking for a GM that Bill O'Brien meshes with. Okay, that's the same thing y'all said about Rick Smith. Oh, the Texans are going to be looking for a new GM that Bill O'Brien agrees with. He's going to handpick the new GM. And we got Brian Gaine, and I liked him. Let's see. He drafted Justin Reed. He brought Matthew, who, turned out to not be what we wanted him to be, but that's okay. He kind of gave us a new line. Granted, it didn't really work, but he was trying, and that was better than what Rick Smith was doing. Do I agree with them firing Brian Gaine? Sure, honestly, that's fine. Get him out of there. But the whole narrative that, oh, it's Bill O'Brien needs his guy. No, Bill O'Brien wants to be Bill Belichick. And that is why Cal McNair, and I truly believe this, Cal McNair has said to Bill O'Brien, this is a conversation that has most likely happened in the Houston Texans offices. Cal McNair has said to Bill O'Brien, listen, bud, you want to be Bill Belichick? You got 1 year to prove it. We're firing Brian Gaine. It's up to you. You got to do both jobs now. And if the Texans don't make the AFC Championship game, Bill O'Brien is going to have a new team. And you can take that to the bank. So that's my firm belief. I believe that Bill O'Brien, he's on the hottest seat in the NFL. He has to be. I mean, who else? Marvin Lewis, dude, he's got job security until he dies. I don't know why, but he does. Wait a minute, is Marvin Lewis still on the Bengals? I'm about to look this up because if he's not, I'm going to laugh. I just assumed he was. Marvin Lewis. Marvin Ronald Lewis is an American football coach who is a special advisor to Aaron State. Okay, come on. Oh, did he get fired? He did get fired. Wow. I must have missed that. Well, now I look dumb. Oh, well, it's fine. Who cares about the Bengals? Who'd they get to replace him? Honestly, can we just talk about the most boring team in the NFL, the Bengals? The fact that I thought Marvin Lewis was still their head coach, and the fact that I don't even know who's their head coach. I mean, I honestly pay so much attention to football. It's like the only thing that I devote my time to, that I really, really pay attention to. And I don't know what's happening to the Bengals. It's crazy. I think they're the worst team when it comes to relevancy. They're just the worst. You can argue the Texans are up there too, but I think the Bengals are possibly one of the worst teams to ever exist. Their helmets are cool, but I mean, come on. Okay, back to what I'm saying, because I specialize in knowing the Texans, knowing that the Texans are just mediocre. So yeah, Bill O'Brien is he's either gonna go 13-3 and bring us to an AFC Championship game and win it and go to the Super Bowl. No, I'm kidding. He's either gonna do that, or he's gonna go 8-8, and we're gonna fire him. That's how I see it going. That's how I hope it goes too. You know, I've been a Bill O'Brien supporter for quite a little bit, but last year after we went down 3 straight games with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, I was like, look, you can't waste Deshaun's prime. You're already wasting JJ's prime, so you can't waste Deshaun's. That's just how it is. So it's either you either really go off or you leave. and we didn't make the AFC Championship game. So yeah, we won 10 straight, and I was like, oh, never mind. Keep Bill O'Brien, and everything was lackadaisical, whatever that word is. Everything was all happy-go-lucky. And then we lose to Indianapolis, and we get bodied by Indianapolis. Listen, I understand that Will Fuller was out, and that Kiki was a little rusty. But come on, Bill, you gotta do something. DeAndre Hopkins is on the field. And granted, he had his muscles torn from his bones, but he played through it. He made an impact, and Kiki made an impact too. I mean, really? Like, this is how we're going to go out? It's just horrible. And so after, the 10 game or however many games we won or lost, that streak of having a great season was nice. And I was like, yeah, okay. I agree we should fire Bill, but you can't fire him after a 10-game win streak. You can't fire him after going 11-5. But then we lost. Oh my gosh. This loss we took to Indianapolis was so bad. That's the point where I was like, okay, it's over. You got to fire him. Okay. Who do you replace him with? I don't know. But eventually you got to fire him, and I think this is it. This is your hot seat year. I'm fine with that because I do like Bill O'Brien. As much as I think, we should probably fire him, he's still Bill O'Brien. The players love him, apparently. I like his coaching, like the way he speaks to the players. His game plan can be questionable at times. But I mean, we've all seen what he can do in 2017. Granted, he did kind of lose us that game against Seattle, but I would blame the defense more than anything. Well, we've seen what this offense can do, so I would love for him to succeed. The question is, will he? Who knows? I mean, well, we say things like, oh, he has to make an AFC Championship game. But what happens if he meets the Patriots in the divisional round? Well, that's just it, you know? And then he loses then, and we're like, we can't keep doing this. You're fired. Okay, honestly, who's beat the Patriots in the divisional round? Like the Jets one time, probably. Or was that the wild card? I don't know. There's been some anomalies for sure, but come on, it's the Patriots. Anywho, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But yeah, so the whole thing about Bill O'Brien becoming GM is very interesting. Again, I don't know how much power the rest of that quote unquote GM committee has, but we'll see. Okay, I think it's Bill making all those moves, and I want that to be the case. I do. So we just traded for Duke Johnson. Now I want Trent Williams. Okay. Because apparently Matt Khalil has been getting shredded in practice, and not by J.J. Watt. So, you just tell me who you'd rather. Would you rather Duke Johnson behind a god-awful offensive line, or would you rather, any backup running back behind Trent Williams and the rest of an atrocious offensive line? I'll say this, though. It's a good ad. The fact that we're even making moves does make me happy. So yes, adding Duke Johnson, I'll take it. One thing for me about Duke Johnson is that, a lot of people were high on him as a starter, but I think he could be a really good backup. So we'll see how that goes. I would love for him to really be a good compliment for Lamar, because I love Lamar, I really do, but He's not like a he's not a top 5. He's not even really a top 10. You could argue he's top 15. We got Lamar haters out there. We really do. Okay. Welcome to this segment. Okay. I'm going to look up the 32 team running back. Look how unprepared I am. But this segment is called Who's the Best? Can we name all the running backs better than Lamar Miller? Okay. I'm going to keep count of this. Allow me to retrieve a pencil. Oh, frick. Here we go. Okay. Starting off with Sony Michel. It's just the first thing I thought of. Let me find it. There we go. Sony Michel. Okay. That's one. We'll say he's better. He's kind of unproven, though. Philip Lindsay, sure. Cleveland Browns. Kareem Hunt. No. Honestly, no. He had great talent, but how do we know that's not a product of the coaching and of the offensive line? I'm not ready to call him better. Now, Nick Chubb. So we'll say Nick Chubb is the premier back there. So we'll say, all right, sure, Nick Chubb is better. Tariq Cohen. Nah. Kenyon Drake. Nah. LaShawn McCoy. Nah. Leonard Fournette. Sure. That's 4. Peyton Barber from Tampa Bay. Nah. Okay. Let's see. Alvin Kamara, obviously. Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Zeke, Saquon, Chris Carson, nah. Todd Gurley, obviously. Marlon Mack, alright, sure. Aaron Jones, you can make a case. Melvin Gordon, yes. James Conner, I'm going to say nah, and that's a hot take, but he has not proven himself to be a legit, more than just, Le'Veon Bell's replacement. We'll see, and I think he probably will be, but as of now, no. Le'Veon Bell, sure. Josh Jacobs, nah. Kerryon Johnson, not yet. Jordan Howard, nah. Joe Mixon, honestly, no. Mark Ingram, nah. Devontae Freeman, injury prone. Dalvin Cook, injury prone. Damian Williams has not proven himself. David Johnson, injury prone, but I'll put him on the list. And that puts Lamar Miller at 15. So Lamar Miller is a top 15 running back, and I will stand by that fact. So Duke Johnson will compliment him very well. That's what I think. And let's also, okay, Texans fans, you horrible group of no good people. Let's address this fact. So you blame our offensive line on everything, and I do it too. That's fine. It's accurate. Okay, it's because it's accurate. But Lamar Miller is bad? No, Lamar Miller has done a serviceable job. Serviceable. Solid. Behind the worst offensive line in football. Now you tell me that his above average numbers. Okay. Oh, he's not scoring 9 touchdowns a year. He never gets touchdowns. Okay, Bill O'Brien doesn't really run him the right way, sure. But he's a top 15 running back and all. And I don't care what you say. So that's going to be great. For my Clowney haters, I like Clowney. And I will only accept a Clowney trade if we get Trent Williams and a first-round pick. Okay? And a first-round pick. It's very important to me that we do not let him go if we don't get a first-round pick. Okay, it's you say what you want about him. He's a game wrecker. When J.J. Watt went down, who was there? Jadeveon Clowney. Okay, it's to say what you want, but Clowney was there, and he was there last year too. He had a good year. Okay, Clowney haters will do this. They will watch every game, and they will blame. Of course, they will blame the Colts game on Clowney. They'll say, "Oh, he jumped off sides. He jumps off sides all the time." Yeah, he's a little jumpy. Just a little jumpy. Okay. He's young though. I think he's still on his rookie contract even. Um, but he's still a game wrecker. Who do we replace him with? I mean, we still don't have a secondary, you guys. So what are we gonna? I mean, what are you gonna like? That rookie from Texas? Is that who's gonna replace him? No, come on. Come on. No, Clowney. We need to keep Clowney in unless we get Trent Williams in a first round pick. That's the only fair trade. It's the only fair trade. And I don't really see anything less than that could be accepted. Anywho, that's how I feel about Clowney. You know, if you look at Clowney's tackles, I believe it's tackles. He is very similar to Khalil Mack. Okay. The stats here are that combined, you got 47 for Jadeveon, and you got 47 combined for Khalil Mack. Now assists, you got 9 for Jadeveon Clowney, and 10 for Khalil Mack. Now sacks, you got 9 for Jadeveon and 12.5 for Khalil. Oh no, Jadeveon Clowney got so much less than Khalil Mack. Oh, it's so horrible. He got 3 less quarterback sacks than Khalil Mack. Well, I mean, think about who's on the other side. It's J.J. Watt. Oh, good job. Khalil Mack had an interception and Jadeveon Clowney didn't. Look, I'm not arguing that Jadeveon Clowney is as good as Khalil Mack. I'm not. I'm just saying that we need a first round pick for him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I will not accept anything less than Trent Williams and a first round pick. And that is final. All right, this has been the Texans podcast that I will probably never do again. Just had to put out my thoughts right before the NFL season. I think the Texans are going to either go 8-8 or 13-3. And if Bill O'Brien does not bring us to the AFC Championship game, he's going to get fired. This is his prove it year, and I'm excited to see how it goes.